Welcome to our podcast, Someone You Know. I'm Emily.
And I'm Ashley.
Today we're doing a chaos corner, so it's just going to be a bunch of short little cases or maybe cases that we don't have too much information on yet. We're going to tell you what we have and give you updates on old cases.
Yep.
Just everything that we've been thinking about and talking about anyway, we want to share with you.
Yes, so I was just telling Emily that some more human remains were found by Nancy Guthrie's house. I don't know exactly how far because we were talking about how it's in Tucson, and it sounded like the neighborhood was kind of spread out and further into the desert, so okay. I don't know how far away from her house they were, but I felt like I had read that before, that they had found remains, and then it was like, oh, is it her, and then it wasn't. So I think this is the second time now.
Yeah. Well, and just kind of crazy that there remains right by the house.
Multiple.
I would not feel comfortable.
Yeah.
If I lived on that street.
Yeah. How many bodies are in the desert? That's crazy.
Well, I wonder, like you said, what's the range? Are they, kind of on the edge of the desert, and they're kind of going out into the desert, and it's half a mile from the house in the middle of the desert they found this, versus,
I think they're probably going pretty far out.
Down the street, sort of in the neighbor's yard, that's different.
Yeah, I don't think it's directly in the backyard, because I'm sure that would be the headline, right? They're probably going pretty far out, but yeah, that's all I've got for that one.
Well, we have an update for you on the Chris Watts case. We told you we were so excited to be done with him, and
we're not.
He popped up again.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's getting married.
Well, they applied for a marriage license.
Yes.
And she is wearing a ring, and I think she's either going by, what's her name? Lizzie Watts?
Lizzie, yeah.
Her name is Lizzie Henderson, so she's either, I don't think she's fully changed her name, but she's telling people to call her that.
Yeah. It sounded like she's, using it professionally, which is a crazy choice.
Which she's a realtor who works for Keller Williams, so quit giving us a bad look. That's my brokerage.
That's right. She needs to go somewhere else.
Yeah. So she lived in Cleveland, Ohio, and she moved to be closer to him.
Completely across the country, just so she could live outside the prison and visit him more frequently.
I don't understand what the allure is. You've got to have something going on mentally, or be really lonely, or I don't know. There's so many people out there, and you want that. Right. And then she released some statement oh, it's just between me and God and Chris how things progressed. It's what?
Well, what happened with his family before? That she doesn't really want to talk about it, and she's it's just between us.
Yeah.
That's not just between you. It's between all of us.
Yeah, and then she said something about oh yeah, that's... I gotta look up the quote to make sure, because it was very dismissive.
Well, and it's just so interesting. When we covered this case, we talked about how women are writing into him all the time, and we kind of shouted out anybody who might be in that situation to let you know you deserve so much better. And even though this is wild behavior from her, very concerning, she deserves better too. So, Lizzie, if you hear this.
I am sure you can find someone who has not slaughtered their entire family, and 2 little girls on top of that. The most innocent of anyone you could kill.
Yeah. Well, and just getting all this negative attention.
And that makes me wonder, there's some people that like that negative attention.
Yeah. Some people just want attention no matter what kind of attention it is. But
So I'm looking for that quote, and I just see a headline of something on Threads. It says, "Quick question for Lizzie Henderson." What the fuck?
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Okay. I found an article. It says, Chris Watts' new lover says convicted killer, quote, knows how she feels about him murdering his family, and it was harsh for anyone to experience. That was weird to me. Harsh for anyone to experience? Are you including him in that?
Yeah.
What? Harsh? Brutal murder?
That's such a mild word.
Yeah, she's really
That's when somebody yells at you and you're that was really harsh.
Yeah.
This is not harsh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she said, somebody asked her about his horrible crimes, and she vaguely replied, "How I feel about it? He knows. He knows how I feel. I don't know all the people involved, but I would want to respect them.
No, you don't.
I think you could respect their memory by not marrying their murderer?
Right.
What kind of disconnect? She's visited Chris at least 20 times over 15 months, including Christmas Day in 2024. And her own family was shocked when they found out who her new fiancé is.
As they should be.
Yeah.
Get in there and do the work to bring her back home.
Yeah.
Well, and I read something else that said it was like another person had like a family member at the same institution that he's in.
Yeah.
And so they were visiting their family member, and then across the visitation room, they see these two making out.
Ew.
And just like all over each other.
How is that even allowed?
Right, which really shocked me because I don't know, I've never visited anyone in jail or prison, so I don't know, but I thought, just from TV, I thought there was like a no touching rule. And he's a violent offender. Why is he even allowed to see somebody like sit at the same table, sit across the table?
Yeah.
Like you would think it needs to be
behind
plexiglass over the phone. Like
yeah,
I can't believe he's allowed to be that close to people and to touch somebody.
Yeah, that is really weird because in all the TV shows I see, they're, everybody, they come to visit somebody they love and they hug them and they're like, no, stop touching. Yeah. But Chris Watts
when it's like an innocent hug.
Yeah, but Chris Watts can go make out with this girl in the corner. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Well, and how traumatizing for the other prisoners and their families.
Yeah.
Like no one wants to see that.
What he did was not just harsh, and so I think if you want to respect them, Lizzie, you could not make out or marry their murderer.
Right. And not give him any of your time. Like, he doesn't deserve to have visitors or be written to or get any attention like that.
I wonder what prompted her to, like, send the first letter.
Right.
So confusing. I feel like, obviously we can't diagnose anybody, but I feel like if you're writing, like, I would write a murderer for my podcast, but I'd get a P.O. box and, I'm not going to write them to be their friend or to possibly date them. Like, what was going on in her mind? And is she mentally sane? Because it doesn't really seem like it.
Right. Well, and so bold to, like, use his name, but use his name even before marriage.
Yeah.
Especially...
She's going hard.
As a realtor where, like, your name and your personality is kind of your brand, and that's how you get customers. Who's going to want to work with her? She's obviously unhinged.
I'm very interested to see what happens with that. I'm sure there's going to be a few weirdos that like want to know about him or, that would possibly use her. But your reputation is such a huge thing in real estate. Mm-hmm. That was a bold move.
Very bold.
Yeah.
Well, and just so crazy that it happened. Like, we literally finished recording those episodes.
Yes.
And we started reading this stuff.
I feel like that keeps happening. Like, we do an episode and then something new comes out right at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, are we making it happen?
And it's been 8 years, so it's just funny timing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and also, everybody was very offended by the announcement of the marriage, or prospective marriage, not just because it's happening, but the timing of the announcement. That his parents announced this, like, what was it, 2 days before the anniversary of him murdering his wife and all of their children.
Yeah. Very close to it.
And so it was deliberate when they announced it.
Yeah, so disrespectful. I think that was definitely on purpose. Yeah. And it makes me wonder, was it his idea? Mm-hmm. Was it her idea? Did they both?
Right.
Or like
his mom's idea?
Yeah. You said his parents announced it?
That's what I read. That it was his parents announcing it to, like, some publication. I don't remember which one.
Because I also read that Cindy Watts is not happy and doesn't like her. Just like Shanann. What a surprise.
Nobody is good enough for Chris Watts.
Oh my god. So that's all we got on Chris.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't have to talk about him for a little bit.
Right.
I'm hoping it gets denied.
Right.
Because, if you've done such horrible things, like...
I feel like that's a privilege you shouldn't get.
Yeah.
Same with being in person in the visiting room. That's a privilege. You don't get it. Like,
exactly.
You did this horrible thing. You opted out of these privileges.
So I'm wondering if he's getting some of these things because of, like, good behavior. Like, not fighting people in jail or something. I don't know. The bare minimum.
Well, why is no one fighting him?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, because he's in Gen Pop.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, we had talked about how he was in solitary because they were all telling him how he can kill himself and stuff. But I guess all of that has kind of died down, and they also moved him to a different state. And now he's in Gen Pop, and I guess everybody's just cool with him.
Shame on all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild update. Hopefully our next update on him will be that it got denied.
Yeah. And then we won't hear anything else for a couple years, hopefully.
Yeah.
Tiny little update on the Philippine karaoke murders. So I did hear another podcast talking about them, last podcast on the left. So I guess it is a thing, but I did have to ask my sister-in-law because she married a man who's from the Philippines. So she was actually visiting us. She called him, and he was like, I've never heard of that. But it is a real thing.
Yeah. So it does happen, but it's not as prevalent as the stories we read made it seem.
I think they're making it sound a little more dramatic than it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it also sounded like these karaoke bars are kind of a wild time anyway, so that maybe there's like some violence and some shooting that happens at these karaoke bars, and it's not necessarily because of this song in particular. It's not like everything is calm and quiet and then this song comes on and
then guns come out. Yeah, I think they're sensationalized it a little bit. But karaoke is like a really big part of their culture, I guess. Yeah. So, but I had to ask just to see if they knew. Yeah,
love that update. So I saw this reel on Instagram, and it was somebody talking about a trafficking incident that happened in China. And I guess it did happen. It was in I think it was a Korean newspaper is where she read this information.
Yeah.
But it was all in Korean. So I believe that's what it was in the newspaper. I don't know if it was like a sensationalized story or not. But the story is that there is this girl in China, and she's going home from a big city to go see her family in the village that she's from, and she's at the train station ready to get on the train, and she meets this woman at the train station. And unfortunately, with human trafficking, they do frequently use women to lure people in.
Which is crazy.
So it's, unfortunately, you can't think like, oh, I can trust this person, it's a woman, where I would be more suspicious of a man. Unfortunately, now you have to be suspicious of everybody.
Yeah.
So this woman is chatting this girl up and saying oh, where are you going? And she says, oh, I'm going to, ABC Village. And she's like, oh, that's actually where I'm going. Which is why you should never tell someone where you're going, because
just be like,
then they can say
I don't know where I'm going.
I don't know, I forget.
I'm just going to pick a random stop. Yeah. You have a nice day. Bye.
Going with the wind. And this lady was like, oh, great. I'm going there too. And are you going home to see your family? That's so nice. While you're there, let me, I know this guy and he can get you a job. Wouldn't that be nice if you had a job over the summer? Wouldn't that be great? And the girl's like, yeah, actually, I would love to have a job. It's all coming up me.
Yeah.
Everything's working out. So train actually goes to the village. They get off the train, and the lady was like, you know what? The guy I was telling you about, he lives just right around the corner. Let me take you to his house, and he can talk to you, and you can hear more about the job. And she's like, okay, great. I really want this job. Right?
I don't like that.
Not good. So they bring her into the house, and they kind of talk with her for a little bit. She thinks everything's going good, and then all of a sudden, the room that she's in, both the woman that brought her there and the man whose house it is, they both leave the room and shut the door. And she realizes she's locked in this room.
How terrifying.
Yeah, horrifying. And it seemed like there wasn't any escape, so maybe no windows or no windows she could get out of. But she can kind of hear them talking on the other side of the door. Maybe it was a small house, or maybe they were just dumb and didn't know to get away from the door.
I'd be so scared.
So scared. But she can hear them talking, and she realizes they're haggling over a price. They're haggling over what price this man will pay this woman for bringing her there.
That's insane.
And they decide on an amount that was about $200, which
that's crazy. That's nothing. Come on.
So
that's so scary that somebody is willing to kidnap somebody and do all that and traffic them for $200.
Yes.
That's insane. Because that can be a death sentence.
Yes, that a human life would be worth so little.
Yeah.
Devastating.
So sad.
Yeah. They come back into the room, and the girl has a brilliant idea. She says, you know what? Actually, my sister is at my parents' house, and she would love to work for you too. Do you mind if I go get her and bring her back over here? You know, pretending like she didn't hear anything, like she doesn't.
Like she didn't know the door was locked.
Right.
Oh, how smart of her.
So smart.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, go get your
like,
sister.
She's like, yeah, I want another $200.
That'd be great. Thank you. So they let her leave the house, and she's walking to her parents' house in the village, and she runs into this man that she's kind of known all of her life, and unfortunately his nickname is the One-Eyed Man.
Poor guy.
I know. And I guess he was like kind of a weirdo, and his thing was he's constantly looking for a wife. Like her whole life, he's just looking for a wife. And she says, oh my gosh, Mr. One-Eyed Man, great news. I have met the woman that would be a perfect wife for you. And he's like, no way. Tell me more. She's like, yeah, you just, if you pay me a fee, I'm happy to bring her here.
$200.
Worse, they decide on $20.
Oh, that's even funny.
The trafficker lady is only worth $20.
Yeah, that's funny. Insult to injury.
Yeah, savage. So the girl goes back and it manages to convince this woman to come with her and go to this man's house. And she drops this woman off at his house, and he locks her in the house. And then this girl trots over to the police station and is like, hey, there's a trafficker being trafficked, locked in the One-Eyed Man's house.
She's like, let me take a minute to explain because it's kind of confusing. But I'm trafficking this trafficker.
Let me start at the beginning.
I love how you wrote this down on our notes. It says, TikTok video of trafficker in China was Uno reversed by the girl she abducted.
Yes, that's how the person captioned their video.
Really? Oh
yeah.
My God, that's so funny.
So the police arrest the trafficker lady. They arrest the first man that she tried to bring this girl to.
Yeah.
I think the One-Eyed Man also did get arrested.
Well, yeah, he seems like he's a little bad too.
Right?
Yeah.
He might have had some other stuff going on. We don't know. And the girl had technically trafficked this woman. So there were also charges against her, which very unfortunate.
Oh my gosh.
But police ended up deciding, like, you know what? You were just trying to get out of a bad situation. You helped us catch all these people. Like, we're going to go ahead and give you a warning on this one.
I love that. I'm so glad they didn't charge her.
Yes. Very, very quick thinking on her feet.
Yeah.
Good job on her part. Terrifying situation to be in.
Yeah. Sadly, like, trafficking seems to be so prevalent, like, everywhere, and also in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've heard a lot of stuff about trafficking in Phoenix, which is just so scary.
Yeah, lots of stories about Phoenix. Every time I'm in Vegas, like, every bathroom stall I'm in, there's like a trafficking information and phone number sign on the inside of the stall. And then I see all those videos about, like, you're supposed to walk behind and, like, do, like, this thing where you're, like, flashing the light bulb behind you, like this.
Or I've seen, like, this. Like, you put your thumb down and then you put your fingers up and down.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably a couple.
Yeah. I don't know if that was happening in front of me, would I notice it in time?
Yeah, and then
like,
what do you do? Do you, like, just call the police?
In all the commercials, they just, like, snatch the girl away or snatch the child away from whoever's taking them, but, like,
yeah,
that might not work, and that kind of puts you in danger as well. Like, you're trying to get them out of danger, not get more people into danger.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, at least this situation,
it worked
turned
out
good. She got Uno reversed.
Right. Who knows if she got to keep her $20?
Yeah. I hope she did.
I know. She earned it.
Another case that I read, you know when you, like, open up the internet and it, like, goes through a couple, like, news stories?
Yeah.
So that's where I saw it. This lady, Yolanda Marodi, she killed her wife, Rebecca, by stabbing her. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is that decades earlier, she killed her husband by stabbing him. And so the wife that she killed was a firefighter for more than 30 years in Moreno Valley. And yeah, that's just the crazy part.
Yeah. Had she ever been in trouble for killing her husband, or she got away with it?
I'm going to look at it up right now.
Because I feel like that happens a lot. The people, it's mostly men, so it's surprising that this is a woman, but mostly men who, like, kill their first wife. The wife dies under suspicious circumstances, and then that worked out really well for them. They got out of that relationship. They got insurance money. They got away with it. And so what do you know? They kill the second wife.
Yeah.
And then investigators are looking at the situation like, this is real suspicious that the first wife died in a similar way or also in a suspicious way.
Yeah.
Like, let's look at this with a fine-tooth comb, and then they find out, turns out he killed both of them.
Yeah. And it's just crazy because stabbing is so violent, and
you would need so much strength.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I could stab somebody.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm strong enough. Even if I was like super mad.
Yeah, and also you have to have a lot of anger to stab someone to death.
Yeah.
So like maybe she had an anger problem, but
well, and that's just an odd modality of murder for a woman.
Yeah, because women usually I think it's poisoning, and then secondary is like smothering or strangling maybe, but yeah, like things like guns and knives are usually lower on the list for women killers.
Right.
So she'd only been married to this woman for 2 years, which is very sad.
Yeah, that poor woman.
Okay, so she served 11 years. She was sentenced in 2004 to 11 years in prison after pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter in the fatal stabbing of her then husband, James Joseph Olshin.
Oh, there's so many consonants.
Olshinak?
I think that J is pronounced like an I. Olayan Juznak. I like kind of like an Eastern European name is what that looks like to me. But yeah, my mouth doesn't know how to say that.
Yeah, sorry guys, we can't say it, but
that is a perfect point for like why you don't marry a murderer. So Lizzie Watts, maybe think twice because
if he ever gets out, like even if he doesn't, he could still kill you on a visitation.
Yeah.
Somehow,
if he's allowed to have physical contact, absolutely.
Yeah, or if they get married and they are allowed conjugal visits where you're like alone. Yeah, gross. So
well, and I don't think those are not recorded, right? Like there's no camera in that room.
No. So anything could happen.
Something really bad could happen.
That kind of surprises me that I've not heard of any conjugal visit murders. I feel like that would be like somewhat common, like because it's bad people.
Right, Google it, see if anything comes up.
Conjugal visit murder.
Like you wouldn't think that he would be allowed to have a conjugal visit, but he's allowed to do all this other stuff that we don't think he should be allowed to do. So who knows?
Okay, there are some. In 2025, 2 women were killed during conjugal visits with their incarcerated partners inside this same prison, Mule Creek State Prison. Tanya Thomas, 47, arrived at Mule Creek State Prison on June 28th, 2024 for a 4-day, 3-night conjugal visit with her partner, Anthony Curry. I thought you got like a couple hours.
That was my assumption also.
They get a whole fucking vacation?
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't like that.
Multiple days and nights?
Yeah. Oh, and Anthony Curry is serving a life sentence for attempted murder and carjacking. He was the last one to see her alive, so obviously he killed her. And then another one was killed in the same prison. Stephanie Dowles was having a conjugal visit with her husband, David Brinson, who was serving life without the possibility of parole for killing 4 men in 1993.
Wow.
And at 2 a.m. during her visit, he used a phone to notify officers that she had passed out. And then she was pronounced dead.
Well, she didn't just pass out on her own.
Yeah. She was strangled, it says.
Does it say how long their conjugal visit was for?
No, but they got a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit. Why are they getting full-on vacations?
Right. I thought, I just assumed a conjugal visit was like in a private cell.
Yeah. Like, you want to visit him, you have to go into his jail cell. Like,
right, yeah. Or like, you know, a similar jail cell, but in this area of the prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a luxury hideaway.
Yep. So yeah, that was crazy and just sad, and like I am very interested for more information to come out about that. Like,
yeah,
why she killed him. Like, was it just arguments and she gets angry and just loses her mind and grabs a knife, or I don't know.
Well, I think that just shows, like, if somebody is violent, even if, like, you know, that the second man that you were talking about who killed his wife during a conjugal visit, he had previously killed 4 men. So
yeah.
He hadn't been violent against women, but that doesn't mean he couldn't be, obviously.
Yeah. Some of these crimes, like, if you can bring yourself to do that, like, don't doubt that they will do other things.
Yes, yes.
That's crazy. I really think that, like, especially murderers should not be allowed to have conjugal visits.
I totally agree.
Or, like, domestic violence crimes, like, things like that. Like, I feel like you shouldn't get certain abilities. Like, Chris Watts, you killed your wife and your kids. You shouldn't be allowed to get married again.
Right.
Like, that's your punishment.
Right.
I don't know. That's just so weird.
Should anybody be allowed to get married in prison? Like, should anybody be allowed to have a conjugal visit?
That's so hard.
What is the...
Yeah.
What's the justification for it? What does society get out of that?
I don't know. I feel like people end up feeling bad, but it's like, you have to remember what they did.
Right.
And they put themselves there. Like, that one guy who killed 4 guys, that's a lot of people.
Right. And what about all those people's families?
Yeah.
Having to hear about this, that now he's killed somebody else because they allowed him to have a luxury conjugal visit.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. What a terrible way to die.
Yes. Oh.
Visiting your husband in prison.
In prison.
And he strangles you.
Yeah.
And you're still there for him, and he has the balls to do that to you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And she was probably looking forward to it. Like,
yeah.
Nice to be able to see him, have all this time together, be alone.
Yeah. Yeah, the conjugal visit thing is very interesting. I feel like if it's like lower level offenses, maybe you should be allowed to get married or, you know, have conjugal visits. But like certain ones, like, you know, when it gets higher up there, like sexual assault, domestic violence, murder, like kidnapping, no.
Yeah. Well, and like, do you really want to get married in a prison? Do you want to really get married or have a conjugal visit in a prison? Do you not just want to wait until they get out? Like,
yeah.
It's kind of a dirty place to do all that stuff.
I know. Yeah, it would suck to get married in prison.
Yeah. The pictures would not be nice.
No, they would not.
So I recently came across this TikTok from this account. This girl's name is Allie, A-L-L-Y. Her TikTok handle is Alexandra A. Rose, E-double-E, Alexandra-A-A-R-O-S-E-E. And she was kind of just doing a story time recounting she had gone to an OB appointment that morning. She's pregnant, and she also has a little girl, a toddler, and so she goes into her appointment. She has her toddler with her. Her husband's also there, and for whatever reason, even though it's like the normal doctor's office, she's seeing a new doctor. And when this doctor came in, she thought she was kind of strange, but, you know, didn't think much of it. And then the woman started making a lot of comments about the daughter's appearance. And at first it seemed nice because, you know, she's a pretty little girl. A lot of people compliment her. And the mom was like, you know, I also think she's beautiful. Like, I love when people give her compliments. I think that's great.
Yeah.
But she got really weird about it. And she was saying how beautiful this little girl is. She's so cute. And after she finished measuring this woman's belly, she made a comment. She was like, yeah, if this baby is as cute as your first one, I am going to kill you. And I know. And I'm going to kill your husband, and I'm going to steal these 2 children.
That escalated very quickly.
Yeah. I like couldn't believe it as I was watching it, because I had a great experience with my OB. Like, he always made me feel so safe and comfortable, and I felt like I could ask questions. I felt like I was getting good information, being taken really good care of. I can't imagine being in that place where you're vulnerable. You pull your shirt up to have your stomach measured. You know, sometimes you have to be more naked than that. Like, it's a vulnerable place. And to have someone say something so unhinged to you and about your precious little girl and your precious baby, and the lady like laughed about it like she'd made a joke, but that's not a joke. Yeah. And so and I think they were just so shocked in the moment that they were like just ready to get out of there.
Oh, for sure.
And then kind of unpacking that in the car afterwards, like, what did you think about that? Like, how do we feel? What are we gonna do from here? And so she decides, like, I should complain about this. I should say something.
Oh, definitely.
And so she calls the doctor's office and is talking to the office manager. Not enough of an escalation, I think.
Yeah.
But she's starting there, and she's talking to this office manager, and at first she feels like the office manager is, like, apologetic and understanding.
Yeah.
And then she starts being very dismissive and is like, well, you know, I know this doctor really well, and all of her patients really like her, and just on and on. And I don't know, when I was pregnant, I kind of thought for sure my specific obstetrician would be there at the hospital when I went into labor. Like, that was just like my naive assumption. And that's not how it works anymore. They kind of take turns within the clinic, and like who's on call, and whoever is on call is who will be at the hospital at the time. So, you know, you still should be getting good care, but it likely won't be your specific doctor, especially if it's like a really big practice and there's like, you know, 15, 30 doctors in the whole practice. Like, then your chances of getting your doctor goes down.
Dang, that kind of sucks.
Yes. Super bummer.
I would want somebody that I was like already comfortable with.
Yeah.
For such a personal thing.
Yeah. I ended up getting a great doctor anyway, and my personal OB was like, oh, you got the best one. I'm
good.
so glad you got him. Like, he did everything like I would do it. So
I love that.
Yeah, so that worked out great. But the point of that is, like, she didn't know and she's getting close to her due date. So it's almost time for her to deliver. What if when she goes into the hospital, this woman is the person on call?
Hell no.
Right, totally unsafe.
Yeah.
And so, luckily, TikTok warriors are all in the comments telling her what to do and telling her to report this to the medical board, which she said in a later video that she was in the process of doing, which is amazing. But also, everyone was telling her, you know, you need to get a new doctor, you need to be going to a different clinic, like, completely separate from this person.
Yeah.
Also, go to a new hospital, because even if you're being seen by another doctor, you don't want to be at the same hospital where this woman works. It all needs to be different.
And how disruptive to have to change all of that.
Yes.
When you're super pregnant.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, when you said that, she said that, like, I'll kill you, I'll kill your husband, and I'll take your 2 kids. That pretty much warrants, I think, a police phone call.
Absolutely. 911.
Maybe not. Maybe 911. Maybe the non-emergency line. But like that, you know,
Definitely.
Of course you take a minute because you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
right.
You know, you got to process it. But then, like, I feel like that would warrant talking to the police or like making a report, and then also like higher ups in the medical industry.
Yeah.
Because that's insane.
So I'm hoping that reporting it to the medical board will lose this doctor her license. That was completely unacceptable.
Yeah.
Maybe she's like in the middle of a mental health episode and she needs some serious help, but she's not allowed to say those things to make women feel in danger, to make them feel like their babies are in danger. Like, how horrific. But like, absolute props to Allie and to her husband for taking this seriously, for not brushing it off, for not being like, oh, it's just a joke, no big deal.
Yeah. Because
I feel like if they brush it off, something could happen.
Yeah, because that's such a real fear. There's a couple cases we have to talk about. I think they just did a documentary on one where, you know, these women are probably having mental health episodes and somehow they lure a pregnant woman, and in a lot of cases they're pretending to be pregnant and the lie is about to be exposed, and so they try to kill a pregnant woman and then cut the baby out. And like, that is such a real fear. Like, that's not a joke.
It's so not a joke. And the 2 cases that you're referring to, these women who did that, they were not medical professionals. They had never performed a C-section before. They didn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize until recently that when you have a C-section, they have to cut through several layers of skin very slowly. Yeah. And then the uterus, they actually rip open.
Oh.
Yeah. And you're numb, you don't feel it. But it's because you can't cut that very thin membrane because the baby is right on the other side of it.
Yeah, and they don't know
risk cutting the baby. Mm-hmm. And exactly, these women, they're in the middle of a psychosis. They don't know that.
The baby usually dies.
The baby dies, yeah.
Yeah, in most cases that I've seen. Like,
horrific. Not only all that trauma, but then they lost their mom, and then they die as well.
Yeah,
it's awful.
So sad. Yeah, we have to talk about that. I think the girl in the one that is on Netflix now, her name is Taylor Parker.
Yeah.
And she did that to somebody, and
I think she became like put herself into this woman's life. Like, she met a pregnant woman and she was like, oh, let's be friends, was like really like love bombing her basically, for lack of a better word, and then does this horrible thing to her.
Last but not least, we wanted to say rest in peace, Hayden Panettiere. I'm probably saying her last name wrong. She was such a big part of my childhood. Yeah. That skating movie, I think it was called Ice Princess, with Michelle Trachtenberg, who also passed away. So sad. Yeah. Just a surprise and just very sad. She passed away of an overdose. She had been having some addiction issues, and she gave up custody of her daughter, which I want to say, like, she did that for her daughter. Like, I think she made the right decision, and, like, how brave of her.
So brave. And to, like, put her daughter's safety and well-being before
first.
What she wanted. And, like, of course you want your baby to be with you.
Yeah.
But she was having a lot of postpartum issues.
Yeah.
And then also, she said in an interview, like, either you become your parents or become as opposite of them as you can.
Yeah.
And this was her attempt to be as opposite of her mother as she could be.
Yes.
And to keep her precious baby safe.
Yeah, because we were talking about her mom earlier, and we both watched some things online, I think.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of Hayden talking about, you know, she was a child actress since being very little.
Yes.
And, you know, some age under 10, she'd already done like 50 commercials. Like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And her mom was her manager. And so when she turned 18, she wanted to fire her mom as her manager because she just wanted a mom, right? Which, that's really sad that she couldn't be both of those for her. So she told her mom that, and her mom said something along the lines of, no, you owe me. Which, what? Your daughter just said she wants you to be her mom, like, and you're only worried about money.
I feel like a lot of parents put their children into child acting because they want money out of it. It's not like my child has so much potential, they love acting, they want to do this.
Yeah.
It's what they can get out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's really sad. Yeah. And she went through a lot with that as well. I've heard some stories, you know, she went through a lot of things. And then when she passed away, her mom, you know, released some statement, and it seemed very cold. It was like, it wasn't even like, oh, I miss her, rest in peace, I love her, she was so great, she did like X, Y, and Z in her life. Nothing like that. She literally said something about like, oh, Hayden lost her way, and that's unfortunate. It happens to like a lot of child actresses, and I wish she would have been true to herself. So gross.
So gross.
You put her into child acting.
Yes.
So,
and not only that, like, a lot of time with child actors, they will always have a parent close by, especially when they're really young.
Yeah.
And so, like, if anything bad happened, her mom put her in that situation. Her mom allowed those things to happen. Any abuse, any bad situations, any exposure to stuff that she shouldn't have been exposed to, like, that is all on her mom.
So, yeah, that just was sad to see.
Yeah.
That even in her child's death, she couldn't be nice. Which, true colors showing right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, rest in peace, Hayden. She was a big part of my childhood. Like, I grew up in Alaska, and so My sport growing up was figure skating, and so of course we would watch that movie all the time, the Ice Princess movie, and we were obsessed with it. And you know, of course, she was in a few other things. And yeah, I just saw a clip. She played the little baby bug in A Bug's Life, and I didn't know that, the cute one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
That bug's face kind of looks like her face.
Yeah.
Like, they definitely used her as the inspiration for that.
Yeah. So
when I just always thought she's just so beautiful.
Oh,
so
definitely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Blessed.
In every acting thing and all of her Neutrogena commercials, like, just so beautiful. And I think it's easy for us to think, like, oh, they're beautiful, they're famous, they must have an easy life.
Yeah.
And look at all the demons that were constantly torturing her.
Yeah, she seemed like she was suffering a lot. It's really sad.
But she also seemed like such a nice and genuine person.
She did.
And didn't deserve any of that.
Yeah. And just, the fact that she was trying to be not like her mom and put her child first when she knew she was struggling, like, that, I really look up to that, you know?
Yeah.
She did a really good job with that. So I hope her daughter has some good memories of her, and that's so sad she lost her mom. I think she's only like 11, or maybe younger. I don't know. I heard 11 somewhere.
I thought she was younger, but at any age, I think it's so hard to lose your mom when especially when you're still a child.
Yeah. All those big milestones. But so that was a little sad way to end our chaos corner, but we just wanted to remember Hayden.
Somebody who had, I feel like, a big impact on all of our childhoods, and
definitely
a big figure in the media, and it's such a shame.
Yeah.
We lost another good one.
Yeah. Very sad.
Such a bummer. We do want to leave you with some resources before we end. So if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, stalking, or harassment, there are organizations that can help. If you're in the United States, you can call or text the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-SAFE. That's 800-799-7233. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Someone You Know Podcast. And follow us here on Spotify so that you can get notifications when our next episode will drop. We are planning on posting once or twice a week, definitely Thursdays, and the occasional Tuesday.
Yeah. Yep. So remember to
stay safe, trust your instincts, and remember, it could be someone you know.